Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. And if you're new here, welcome. My name is Kofo, and on this channel, we talk about all things being in our 20s, growth, lifestyle, and faith. And if this is everything you're interested in, please make sure to stay because we do grow here and we learn so much. And also, don't forget to subscribe, comment, and like. Um, every video I put out if you like it, of course, and if you have anything to say. But yeah, today I'll be talking about you know, confusion in our 20s, feeling lost, feeling overwhelmed. Like even when things can be going so well, we have our dream job, we have this, we have that, we can still feel very much lost in our 20s. And that's kind of what I want to talk about today. Our 20s is a time of transition, of discovery, of exploration, and of confusion. There are so many voices online, in person, in our close circles of what we should be doing, where we should be, and what decisions we should be making. You're thinking, should I be married now or be in a long term relationship? Should I be saving, investing, or like living in the moment? Or like, what should I exactly be doing in my 20s? I know that's the question I have right now. I don't know what question you guys have, but that's exactly my dilemma. On paper, my life relatively looks like I shouldn't be coming on here saying all of these things, but there's so much uncertainty or a considerable amount of uncertainty because you're kind of like experiencing life while discovering like what you should be doing and what you want out of life. You're just starting your first job out of college. You're carrying on so much more responsibilities like paying your own bills, living in your own apartment and all of that. And you're really adulting now. Like, you know how they say adulting is a scam? It really is a scam. In your first job, you're figuring out if you studied the right course in school, if you're on the right path, if you love your job. Like everything is just so confusing and overwhelming now in our 20s. One thing about me, especially because I'm an overthinker, I'm always searching online, asking older aunties I'm close to if I'm doing the right thing, if I'm on the right path, because like everything, you're just like, Auntie, like, is this the right thing I should be doing? Is this what I should be doing? Is this who I should be dating? Is this who I should be talking to? Do I have a future with this guy? Do I not have a future with this guy? What exactly should I be doing? But if you've watched my previous videos, you know that the very first step I've taken to help alleviate some of these anxieties to an extent is knowing that my identity is being a child of God and not in any of these other things. I feel like knowing that my identity is being a child of God has helped giving me like this solid ground and this foundation to know that regardless of what happens, regardless of the challenges I overcome in life, like God's got me. Do you get? Like God's got me, and that God's plan for my life will prevail, regardless of whatever direction I go. What the purpose and plan God has for me is what would finally come to play. So yeah, that has really helped me alleviate some of these anxieties. And I will encourage you guys as well to try God, okay, to try faith, to try placing your identity in God and not in, all of these things in life and, achieving all of this. And all of that is great. Achieving these huge goals, having your dream job and things like that. But I think if eventually it wouldn't fill that space and it wouldn't give you that ultimate satisfaction. So, what I decided to do is to create a roadmap for 2025 and onwards. And maybe this roadmap will also help other 20 somethings out there as well, so kind of like help me figure things out in my 20s as I go in a healthy way so that I'm not confused and all over the place and just like depressed because, we all feel lost and confused. But yeah, to create this roadmap, I decided to ask myself these 5 questions so I can figure out what's missing and why I'm feeling this way. So the very first question is, who am I outside my job? Guys, if you ask me that, I accept for being a child of God, but like outside, what I mean is like outside of my job, what else do I do? What am I passionate about? Like if someone were to ask me or you right now that what else, like what do you do? I'm not talking about your job. Like what other things do you do? Who is Kofo? Like I would actually have to sit and think a bit. So yeah, that question is still unanswered, and I'm trying to figure that out. I feel like we all should have a general answer for that question. You probably do, but I don't. But yeah, I kind of want you guys to sit yourself down, pause this video, try and answer that question and see if you have an answer to that question. Who are you outside of your job if you have one? The second question is, what are my passions, values, and interests? You see, this one I kind of have an answer to. So I do have values that I hold dearly and that I try to embody and implement in my life, and also kind of what I expect from people that I would want to bring into my life. So if you've not watched my videos on becoming her in my 20s, I would suggest that you watch it because I kind of talk more on that. But I do have values. In terms of my interests, guys, like I used to have so many more interests when I was in college and things I was passionate about, but I feel like those things have just gone down the drain, especially when I got so busy with college, nursing school, and things like that. Like I used to read more. Now I don't at all. Like I don't remember the last time I read a book. I used to write. Now I don't. Some of these things I really don't do anymore. And yeah, I really want to start getting into some of these things. Like what are your passions and interests that you're just not doing anymore that you used to do? I would like to know in the comments below. The third question is, who do I want to become 10 years from now? Or who do I want to be 10 years from now? I think that's such an important question because that question would be a guiding force for how we want to be now, and the decisions we choose to make now, right? So if we want to be a woman that is disciplined and that is successful, some of those decisions we make starts now. Some of the decisions we make right now would influence who we become 10 years from now. So I think that's a good question to ask. And I think I relatively know what that looks like. So I would say that that's good. I do know that I want to be successful. I want my relationship with God to be even stronger. I want to be in a healthy relationship, and those are some of the things I want to be 10 years from now. The fourth question is, what do I really want if social media and my close circle are not a factor? That's such a good question because I think that in today's world, it's very easy to be influenced and moved by what other people think, other people's perception, what our life looks like to other people. And I think that's such a dangerous thing. And yeah, so I think that's an important question to always ask ourselves throughout our lives. Like, okay, if like my close circle and social media was not an influence, what decision would I make? What would I choose? What do I want? And the fifth question, or the last but not the least question, is, how do I want to look back on my 20s? Yes, that's such an important question because at the end of the day, we do not want to live with regrets. We know that we're not perfect. We know that we'll make mistakes. But at the end of the day, we want to look back on the journey and say that we learned, but we also lived in the present moment. So, I know I've said this before, but I want you guys to pause this video right here and answer all 5 questions. Write it down and ask yourself, now that I know, my answer, or if you have no answer to these 5 questions, what exactly is the problem? For me, after answering all these questions, you know, beyond, outside of this, I realized that my life is lacking variety. And what do I mean? My life seems boring to me. Yes, I think that's the issue because all I do is go to work, sleep, go to work, sleep, maybe do some other things here and there, but that's mostly what I do. And also go to church sometimes if I have time because of my schedule, my nursing schedule. Well, yeah, I realized that it seems boring to me. So I'm on a mission to exploring who I am outside of my job and trying different hobbies and things like that. So I'm thinking of maybe trying out tennis classes, maybe doing trying pottery classes and things like that, taking this channel seriously. So the very first thing on my roadmap is to develop hobbies and passion. And I think that's what you guys should do as well. Again, if you guys haven't watched my Becoming Her in My 20s video, the very first video where I talk about defining my dream woman values, go watch it right now. The point of that video was to streamline the values I want to embody and what I need to do to become that woman. It's not easy, but it's a journey, and anything worth becoming and having is not going to be easy. So, the second thing on my roadmap, which I've already kind of done, is define my dream woman values. So that I can look back on these values every couple of months and make sure that everything I'm doing, my decisions, and the habits I have now are aligning with those values. Something I like to do every now and then is to make sure that every decision I'm making and what I'm doing now is not influenced by what social media is saying or what my close circle is saying or what they feel like I should be doing, because making decisions based on what other people think is very dangerous and it's not good. Because at the end of the day, you're going to live with these decisions, you're going to live with the consequences. Making decisions on your life partner, the person you're going to be married to, based on what society is telling you, or what your close circle is telling. I'm not saying don't listen to your close circle. That's not what I'm saying. But everyone has different perspective on what a dream partner should look like. So making those decisions based on what other people are saying is very dangerous, and I think it's something that we need to be aware of and conscious of. So the third thing on my roadmap would be to be careful to not seek validation from other people. So basically to seek validation from myself first. Because I'm such an overthinker and I can be uptight sometimes, something I don't want to happen is to look back on my 20s and feel like I was so stressed all the time, or I didn't take it easy with myself and I wasn't present when I, had the least responsibilities. So for me, the fourth thing on my roadmap is to take it easy and be present in my 20s. And even hearing other people's experiences of their 20s, you would hear them say that chill, calm down, everything will work out well. Everything would end up working out for you. So I think that it's important that yes, we're proactive in our 20s, we should make the right decisions. By the end of the day, this is your first time in your 20s, right? So I think that taking it easy on ourselves and just being present in the moment, enjoying this time that we have, enjoying our youth, enjoying the opportunities while we have the least responsibilities is very, very key. Can we also acknowledge that there is this like fear of failure that looms over your head when you're in your 20s? You're just thinking like, what if I don't choose the right career path? What if I don't choose the right partner? What if I'm not in the right city? All these questions is constantly looming over your head. Like, what if I'm not saving as much as I should? Like, yeah, there's just this like fear of failure, especially in your 20s. What has helped me is my faith. You know, Developing my relationship with God and strengthening that relationship with God has in turn helped me to lean on Him and trust Him more. Like, I'm telling you guys, you just have to let go. You really just have to let go and trust God. And if you want to learn more about my faith journey, you can watch my previous video, and I would also put a link in the description below and a link somewhere up here as well. But yeah, watch that where I kind of talk about my faith journey and how that has helped me. The second thing that has helped me is speaking with trusted people that have experienced their 20s. But remember, guys, the people you get advice from, at the end of the day, you want to get advice from people that you actually want to be like, and you don't mind having the life that they have right now. Well, I think that talking to trusted people, like for me, have I'm blessed to have some aunties that I can talk to kind of help me and guide me on this journey and to kind of ease any of my anxieties. The third thing I know I can that can help, but I've actually never tried personally, and going to get into that soon, is therapy, especially if you can afford it, because therapy can give you a lot of clarity. It can help expose your fears and traumas and why you kind of act the way you do and why you have even some of these fears that you have. And I think the earlier you start therapy, the better, because you don't take these traumas into your 30s and 40s and even into like long-term relationships such as marriage. I have also come to accept that in life there's just uncertainty, and that's just a fact about life that needs to be accepted. But the thing is, in our 20s, this is kind of our first time stepping into uncertainty, because before you turn 20, and mind you, most people are still in college. You're born, you go to kindergarten, you go to preschool, or I don't know how it goes, I forgot. But you go to kindergarten, you go to middle school, then high school. I probably missed so many steps, and then you go to college, and then you look for a job. We have all these things planned for us. And then once you get into your early 20s, you're just thrown out into the world, and you're just like, and they're just telling you to just figure it out. So I just think it's just harder in our 20s because it's just the first time kind of experiencing this uncertainty, and it just feels all very scary and very just like overwhelming. All in all, I want us 20 somethings to reframe our perspective and understand that it's okay to not have it all figured out. And it's okay to embrace the journey and lessons along the way in our 20s, because at the end of the day, God's plan for our lives will prevail. That is what happened for Joseph, for David, and for Moses, and it would happen for you too. But one thing we can control in our 20s is our personal growth. Let's focus on continuously evolving, learning, and adapting, and ultimately connecting with our authentic self. I hope you guys liked this video today. And if you liked it, again, remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys in my next video.